Being dangerous but kind keeps bullies and those who wish you harm at bay. Only weakness invites aggression. Speaking up for yourself and setting and enforcing healthy boundaries. So I saw something in the comments about like what does it mean to be dangerous? Like for a man to be dangerous, it's just like it sounds, to be able to wreck shop, to be able to deal out lethal force, and hopefully it never has to happen, but if shit goes down and today is the day, you got to be able to protect yourself, your friends, your family, sometimes your community or whatever. But that's part of being a man. It's like what Jordan Peterson talks about is being dangerous, but having that dangerousness under control, being calm, because masculinity is also being calm under pressure without just totally losing your shit and flipping out about things and then scaring everybody around you. It's like having that air that you're a kind person, but if you ever encounter like some of the MMA guys and some of the best, greatest fighters and warriors that I know are also some of the kindest people that I know. But it's like you see people talking shit to some dude and he's got cauliflower ears. And you look at that and you go, that's not the guy that you want to screw around with, buddy. Having the ability to be dangerous but be kind and playful, so you make everybody feel safe. Because like when I remember, like when I was younger, and I wrote about this in Mastering Yourself. I had this kid that grew up down the street from me, and he was tall and skinny and awkward and coordinated, and I think he was in 8th grade when I was like in 6th grade. And I remember one time we're walking home from the bus, and he just always was picking on me because I was small, and he sensed their like weakness in me. And I remember him going, "Well, I'm gonna kick your ass. You might as well start crying now." And he was pushing me from behind, and he was just always messing with me. And I remember I had gotten this skateboard that I had saved up for my paper route, and it was, I don't know, it was about this big. It was nice skateboard, had nice soft wheels, so it was perfect for riding in the street. And I was really proud of it. And I remember one time we were all playing football, and in the street, we used to do just about every day. And then he picked my skateboard up and he just threw it like as high and as far as he could in the street, and it hit the pavement. And then I see little splinters of wood popping off, and then he picked it up again and threw it, and I fucking lost it. I was
dick.
so mad. I was so pissed off. He finally crossed the line with me. And I can remember, I would think it was in 6th grade. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I went at his ass. Keep in mind, this guy is like literally 12 inches or more taller than me. He's tall, skinny, awkward kid. And he's swinging like a chick at me, and I got him a couple times. I remember he clocked me once, just because his arms were so long. Got me in the side of the head, and I got a couple good shots in. I was mad. I was shaking. I was crying. I was just so full of anger and rage, and he just backed away after I got a few good licks in. Like I said, he popped me a couple times too, but it was like he never ever fucked with me again.
He should have not even done that to begin with.
Because I lost it, but
he's like, he's gonna come to school with a gun next time and probably kill me. Oh my gosh!
But it was just he got to see that side of me. He just kept poking the bear, poking the bear, and when he just started destroying my skateboard, which was like my pride and joy at the time, I was like, I was not having it, and because that had been building up for like the last couple of years, and because I was always afraid to fight back because he was so much bigger than me. I was just a little boy basically. I was, like I said, I was in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade. His voice had already changed, and he was starting to get a beard. But it's like I didn't care, man.
It's like I mentioned that previous video, one of the previous videos that we did, that it's like you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You don't learn, and that's when, and God forbid, the universe just like throws something at you, teaches you the hard way. It's kind of like what happened with you, that he kept poking the bear, knowing that He was asking for it.
Yeah.
And he knows it's not a nice thing to do, and yet he still does it. Of course, he still does it, and look
He
what
did it because
happened.
he could get away with it. I let him get away with it for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, but there's gonna come a time where you're gonna you're gonna ram yourself against a brick wall. Like, there's gonna come that time. But, yeah.
I remember my dad was like, stand up to him, punch him in the mouth because he's bigger than me. I don't care. I was terrified, you know. My dad was right, though.
Yeah.
Eventually, he pushed me too far. I lost my shit, and I went after him. And I felt good afterwards, though, too, because I didn't feel afraid when I would see him. He was always nice to me after that. We got along just fine.
Aw, you probably felt amazing. You're probably like, finally. Oh my gosh.
I wasn't afraid of him anymore.
Where is he now, if you don't mind me asking?
I have no idea. Maybe we can ask Billy. Billy was the one. I think I showed you Billy in one of those videos we were watching with Connor. So, because my friend Billy, who you guys may have seen in some of the other podcast episodes, Billy lived across the street, and he was there when that happened. I don't know if he remembered that or not, but it was a big deal to me. It was like one of those life-changing things. But it's like you got to set and enforce healthy boundaries, because if I was displaying weakness.
Yeah.
And weakness invites aggression, especially somebody like that who probably he didn't feel too, because I know his dad used to beat his ass all the time. And so shit tends to roll downhill, and so that's why he got his ass beat, and therefore I got my ass beat, just because he wasn't feeling good about himself, but he felt better kicking my ass. He felt significant kicking my ass because he was getting his ass kicked at home. But obviously I put a stop to that.
Yeah.
I preferred to be kind and nice, but sometimes there's a time to be nice and there's a time to not be nice.
Yeah, some people don't deserve it, and I think that's really ridiculous. Especially, one of the things that really does tick me off a little is that you can be a kind person and people are just that stupid to think, and they're that ignorant to think that just because you're nice, you're naive. But then it isn't until you do something that really crosses the line that, that's when they start backing off. That's something I never understood. Just because someone's nice doesn't mean they're naive.
Yeah, don't take somebody's being nice for being weak.
Yeah.
Because you never know. It's always the quiet ones that, especially the little guys, because they get their asses kicked so much that you got to learn how to fight better. Especially if you're dealing with bigger, stronger opponents.
Yeah, and I know this because I consider myself to be a very nice, caring, kind person. But there have been times that people really have pushed me, like you really have to go above and beyond and over the top to get me really pissed off. And it's happened. And when there have been people that have seen me pissed off and they're like, yeah, no. So you can only take so much. Like, why are you even doing this? You're only going to set yourself up for failure.
I remember I reached that point. It was like elementary school, I think.
You went full Colombian on somebody?
No, I didn't go all. I'm like not the fighting type at all. Like, I don't fight. I don't argue. I don't I don't curse at people. I don't even curse. And you guys know that. Like, I'm so just very, timid. I'm very timid. But I remember in elementary school, I just came to Florida from New York. And there was this girl, I told you about it. She would kick my seat. This happened for a little while, like weeks. She would kick on my seat in class and just bang on it. She would tug my hair. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's wrong with her? I would turn around and look at her and she would be like she didn't do anything. And I'm like, okay. Until this one day, she literally grabbed a pencil and she stabbed me in the back with it. Yeah, and I had the ink on my back. So I told my mom, and my mom came out full Colombian to the school, to the principal, and we got her expelled because
what
of
a dumb
that.
bitch. Yeah. No offense to her.
I never mentioned the kicking and stuff because I was like, maybe she'll just stop. She'll get tired. But that girl did not give up. She just kept going until she thought it was okay to stab me in the back. And I was like, you're going to get it.
That's really ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the type. I'm not the fighting type either. I remember this one time in high school. Usually I'm that type of person that I was that type of person that would get breakfast from school and bring it to class and eat it. And mind you, I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'9".
Amazon
and
woman.
Yeah, I guess. But Cuban Amazon woman.
Cuban Amazon girl.
But
Cuban Amazonian.
Yeah, so mind you, first of all, it's not my fault I'm tall. I didn't ask to be tall. This is God wanted me to be tall, so be it.
Well, I believe we chose our parents, so I believe we all knew what we were getting into before we incarnated.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a lot of shit for that comment, but
yeah. So what happened was that there was this girl. I mean, mind you, I'm in school. I'm minding my own business, just like everyone else should be when you're in school. This was like when I was taking pre-calculus in my senior year. She got upset just because I kept moving. Like, I'm not going to be staring back at you 24/7 to make sure you're okay. It's not like you're going to care if I can't see. Like, if she's in my position, she's not going to care. But then I heard her say, like, I remember her saying, like, something, like, I don't want to sound very vulgar, but she was like, fucking Jocelyne. She got really, and it really pissed me off. And I'm like, hey, I literally told her, hey, like, my name is Jocelyne.
You smacked her with your Egg McMuffin?
No. I'm telling you, back in school, I was very calm. Like, for you to really get me mad, like, you'd be lucky that I wasn't like.
With your spork?
Oh my God, no. It was actually Cuban toast. And like, I think it was like a café con leche, if I can recall. But, so yeah, I told her, hey, like, my name is Jocelyne. She's like, oh, but you keep blocking. It's like, what do you want me to do? And she got upset, and it came to a point where I literally threw my toast on the desk. And I told her, stop it. And then, after that, I just turned around, and then her friend's like, oh, forget about her. She's a bitch. So it's like, why are you going to tell me that? I have a reason to be upset. Mm-hmm. Her friend was stupid. No offense, but... so little things like that. It's like, why are you even going to cause a commotion over it? If you don't like that there's a tall-ass person right in front of you, move like, to a different seat. Mm-hmm. That girl never cared of anything to begin with. She sat wherever she wanted. It's like, just do whatever you want. Like, sorry, I went on a rant. It just, like, it reminded me of that.
No, I have a lot of patience. I feel like I'm very nice, and I try to be nice, and I'm very, like... Yeah. I take a lot, and sometimes I can tell when someone thinks they could walk over me, and I find it hilarious. Because I'll let them do it, and I'm like, yeah, like, okay. Until they reach that point where they think they're dominating me, and I'm like, boom.
Yeah.
And they're like...
And then that's when they regret it. It's like...
Colombian on them?
Yeah, they're like, whoa, like, I didn't know she had this, like...
Start cursing
aggression.
In Spanish.
I don't curse in general. Well, if I am really mad, I curse. And I feel like people notice and they're like, okay, she's pissed. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
It's like they ask for it. It's like, don't even do it to begin with. It's common sense.
Yeah. I'm just a little girl.
But nowadays, unfortunately, common sense died in a lake. That's how it is.